I'm Kristen Johnson. I'm a senior manager of design and training for Harris County Precinct 1.
And I'm Alexander Johnson. I serve as the executive pastor at Wheeler Avenue Baptist Church and as an adjunct professor at the University of Houston.
So in September of 2018, I started experiencing preterm contractions at about 28 weeks, while also having a sickle cell crisis. So I spent significant time in the hospital, and so I ended up delivering via C-section at 37 and a half weeks. 5 days postpartum, things started to take a shift when I started experiencing shortness of breath and side pain around 2 a.m. Saturday morning. Yelled for my husband that I was having a lot of pain that I have never experienced before in my life. It seemed as if I couldn't breathe.
She was literally on the bed in the fetal position when I walked up. I had never seen her in pain. She's had crises before, but this was on another level.
His response to me was, I'm going to call 911. When I got to the hospital, things were fairly calm at first. I was very clear that I had just delivered a baby 5 days ago via C-section. I had been on blood thinners throughout pregnancy, and also that I had sickle cell.
While we were at the emergency room, the doctor said, let me save you a couple $1,000s. I think you just have some misaligned ribs. I'll manipulate those and I'll send you home if you feel better. Which was fairly offensive.
It was a little shocking because I'm like, I didn't think misaligned ribs would cause all those symptoms, but they were the medical professionals, so I trusted them. So I went back home, and then Saturday night around 9 o'clock, I started experiencing the same symptoms again, shortness of breath, the side pain, but I had a fever this time. And so we had a significant amount of family over, and they all agreed that I needed to return to the hospital because something was going on. And so this time they put us in a different room, but we sat there for about an hour and a half before getting any type of knowledge about what was going on. Finally my husband had to say, look, we've been here for an hour and a half. My wife is in pain. This is the second night that she's experiencing this. What can you all do? I went and had a CT scan. I think I was out of CT for maybe 5 to 10 minutes.
And when they came back after the CT scan, they said she had pulmonary emboli and or acute chest syndrome, which I had never heard of. I don't think we were familiar with, but later found out it's one of the leading causes of death for sickle cell patients. We sat there for an extended period of time while she's writhing in pain. We're telling the doctors that she's in pain, and the doctors are giving her no medicine.
To be in a hospital where you want to trust the medical professionals, but know that they ignored you at first, and now you're in a dire situation, I was scared and wondered if I could trust them going forward. What we experienced to have a child, having 3 miscarriages before we finally had a healthy pregnancy, and then being on blood thinners throughout pregnancy to sustain a pregnancy, and then not being able to enjoy my gift that I finally had is hard. And I felt like for a lot of years that I just missed out on that bonding time with him, and that we weren't gonna have that special relationship that so many mothers and children have. It just felt like I was missing out on motherhood. I want lawmakers to know that implicit bias and structural racism still exist in some of our healthcare systems. We have to educate our medical professionals, and we have to educate the community.
It's unconscionable that the greatest democracy in the world has a maternal mortality and morbidity rate that rivals third world countries. This is one area that clearly needs significant attention. Too many mothers are dying. Too many children don't have their mothers to raise them, and something has to be done.